Welcome back once again. So, public outrage has erupted across the United Kingdom following explosive report revealing that Prince William has been financially benefiting from Prison Lake Estate. The revelation has ignited a fierce national debate, with many Britons expressing anger and disappointment over what they perceive as a troubling contradiction between the Prince of Wales' public image and the reality of royal wealth. At the center of the controversy is the Duchy of Cornwall, the vast estate that Prince William inherited after King Charles III ascended to the throne. The Dutch, value at over 1 billion, provides the prince with significant private income, and a recent report indicates that among its many commercial holdings is land connected to HMP Dartmouth Historic Prison in Devon. So through leasing arrangement and associated revenue, the estate has reportedly generated substantial income, with figures suggesting profit reaching up to €2.5 million. For many observers, the idea that future king could financially benefiting from prison has proven deeply unsettling. The backlash has been swift and intense. Critics argue that profiting from in such scenarios raises serious ethical concern, particularly at a time when the UK is grappling with overcrowded prison and ongoing debate about justice reform. So social media platforms have been flooded with comments from citizens questioning how such an arrangement aligns with Prince William's carefully cultivated image as a compassionate and social conscious leader. So to many, the situation appears to expose a stark disconnect between royal privilege and the everyday struggle faced by ordinary people. So public frustration has been further fueled by perception that the royal family operated under a veil of financial secrecy. Although the Duchy of Cornwall is technically a private estate, its historical ties to the monarchy and the scale of its asset has led many to argue that greater transparency is essential. So critics contend that taxpayers deserve a clearer understanding of how royal finances are managed, because especially when they intersect with sensitive institutions like the prison system. So the controversy has reignited long-standing call for reform, with some commentators suggesting that the Duchy's operation should be subject to strict public scrutiny. Adding to the anger is the belief that the profit stand in stark contrast to the social issue Prince William has publicly championed. So the prince has often spoke about mental health, homelessness, and community support, positioning himself as a modern and empathetic royal. However, detractors argue that benefiting financially from a prison undermines these efforts and raises questions about the sincerity of his advocacy. So for many, the optics are particularly damaging, as they suggest that while the prince promotes social progress, his simultaneous gain from a system often criticized for perpetuating inequalities. The scandal has also sparked debate among constitutional experts and royal commentators. Some defended the arrangement as legacy of centuries-old structure that predate Prince William's signature as Duke of Cornwall. They argue that the Dutch operate as a commercial entity with diverse holdings and that the prince does not directly manage individual revenue streams. Nevertheless, critics maintain the moral responsibility cannot be dismissed too easily. So they insist that regardless of historical present, modern ethical standard demand a resentment of such financial ties. Media coverage has intensified the controversy, with headlines, emphasizing the scale of the profit and the sensitive nature of their source. Talk show and opinion columns have echoed public sentiment, with many voices calling for Prince William to address the issue directly, because the silence from the royal representatives has only fueled speculation and frustration, leading some to interpret as reluctant to confront the growing backlash. So in an era where public figures are expected to demonstrate accountability and transparency, this perceived lack of response has further damaged the prince's reputation. So the situation also reignited broader discussion about the role and relevance of the monarchy in contemporary Britain. Because for critics of the royal institution, the scandal serves as yet another example of inherited privilege operating without sufficient oversight. The publication group have seized upon the controversy to renew their call for reform, arguing that monarchy financial arrangements are incompatible with modern democratic value. Even among supporters of the royal family, there is a sense that institution must evolve to maintain public trust. Because as the debate continues, many Britons are calling for concrete action. Suggestions range from increased financial transparency to a re-evolution of how the Duchy of Cornwall revenue are utilized. Some have proposed that profit linked to the prison system be redirected towards rehabilitation program or community initiative, a move that could help address ethical concern while reinforcing the prince's commitment to social causes. Without such measures, critics warn that controversy risks leaving a lasting stain on Prince William's public image. And ultimately, the 2.5 euro million prison profit scandal has struck a nerve because it touches on fundamental question of morality, privilege, and accountability. While the Duchy of Cornwall operation may be legally sound, the ethical implications have proven far more contagious. Because for Prince William, the challenge now lies in navigating this complex landscape and demonstrating that his leadership aligns with the value he publicly exposed. As the story continues to gain traction and public scrutiny intensifies, the pressure on the Prince of Wales show no sign of cease, whether through increased transparency, meaningful reform, or redirect response to the concern raised. Many believe that decisive action is necessary to restore confidence. Until then, the controversy serves as a powerful reminder that in the modern age, even long-standing traditions are not immune to public accountability, and the expectation placed upon future monarchy has never been higher. In the end, this controversy has become more than just a financial dispute. It represents a defining moment for Prince William's public image and the future of the monarchy itself. So, as public scrutiny intensifies, many Britons are demanding not only explanation but also meaningful action that reflect accountability and ethical leadership, whether through increased transparency and the direction of profit toward rehabilitation initiative or a clear acknowledgement of public concern. The prince now faces a pivotal opportunity to rebuild trust. How he responds in coming weeks may ultimately shape public perception for years to come, determining whether this can become a lasting blemish on his reputation or catalytic for gaining reform within the royal institution. Thank you guys. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share for more updates.